Welcome to the screencast on categorizing text data in Transana. This screencast demonstrates how to categorize selections in text data. Text selections created using this method are referred to as standard quotes. For this analysis, we will use a data set where we want to analyze a set of advertisements. Our data set includes a number of advertisement videos as well as several text documents about the companies and products from those company websites that are also part of their marketing endeavors. Right now, we want to focus on one of the text documents. This screencast demonstrates creating quotes, so to prepare for that, we've already created several collections by following the instructions in the screencast on collections. You'll probably create thematic collections throughout the analytic process during a real analysis. We'll start by opening the text document History of Coca-Cola in the Coca-Cola library. When we find a section of our text data that is analytically interesting or meaningful, the first step of capturing that segment is to highlight the text of interest. At least initially, we want to create a quote of the selected text in the Innovations collection. We'll right-click the collection and choose the Add Text Quote item from the pop-up menu. Transana opens the Add Quote form. We'll start by giving our quote an ID or name. The better your quote name reflects the unique contents of the quote, the more useful you will find it in the future. So we give our quote a name that reflects its contents. We will call this quote The Discovery of Coca-Cola. We see that the text we had highlighted in the document now shows up as the quote text. We also see that we have the option of adding coding to this quote, but we won't do that in this demo video about creating clips in collections. When we're done, we press OK to complete the clip creation process. We can see that our quote now appears in the Innovations collection in our database tree. Now we'll highlight the selection for our next quote. This selection is about marketing, so we'll double-click the Marketing collection. When Transana has a highlight in a text document selected in the main interface, double-clicking Collection triggers quote creation. So again, we see the Add Quote form. We'll name this quote Early Aggressive Marketing. And since we're not coding here, we'll click OK. For our next selection, the text we want for the quote is a single complete sentence. So we just place our cursor within the sentence without making a full selection. We'll double-click the Growth of the Company collection, and again, the Add Quote form opens. We can see that Transana automatically selects the sentence that the cursor is in for the quote text. We'll give this quote the name Expansion of Syrup Plants, and press OK. We'll make one more selection and create another quote, which we'll call From 2 to 1,000 Bottling Plants. So what does it mean to have created these quotes? First, let's look at our collections. We can easily see how many data items there are in each collection, which tells us at a glance how many selections we have found for each of our categories, each of our emerging analytic themes. Let's double-click a quote to load it in Transana's main interface so that we can see what a quote looks like in Transana. As you can see, Transana loads our quote into a new tab in the document window. It includes just the selected text from our source document. So a quote is a small portion of a raw text file in the collection that we designated and with the coding that we applied to it by adding keywords. The quote represents a portion of our data that we've selected as representing something important or meaningful about our data. The meaning is represented by the name of the collection in which the quote is placed and by the coding that has been applied to that quote. Thus, a quote is one of the fundamental building blocks for our qualitative analysis when we're working with text data.